Hello, welcome back to The Trickway. This is your review of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 5, titled Mirrors. I really enjoyed this episode. Solid 8.5 out of 10 for me. I mean, the other episodes were decent as well, but this is my favourite episode of the season so far, and we're at the halfway point now, so I'm going to be sad when it finishes. I thought this would be a filler episode, but it wasn't actually. The crew are on the hunt for Moll and L'ak so that hopefully they can lead them to the next part of the clue. Book is convinced that he can get to Moll because he obviously knew her mentor. He is adamant he can get through to her, and we're kind of hoping he does actually. The Discovery finds where Moll and L'ak could be hiding. But I thought this was cool. They come to a stop, nothing's there. But after they play about with their scans for a little while, they find what seems to be a hidden wormhole, is the best way of describing it. We all know what wormholes are like in Star Trek. They open and close all the time, or they're too small. I mean, Voyager knows all about that. But this one is hiding, and once they are able to discover the wormhole, it's opening and closing really quickly. Well, at reasonable pace, so you're thinking, how are they going to get in there? It is too big for Discovery to fit in, of course it is. So it's going to have to be a shuttlecraft. Captain Burnham is going to go with Booker. Rayner, though, Commander Rayner has, I'm used to calling him Captain Rayner. Commander Rayner has other ideas. He has a private word with Burnham, saying, listen, yes, my job is the number one to look out for you. You shouldn't be going. But I think Burnham talks him into actually sitting in the captain's chair again. I think he's a bit uneasy about that. So he has the con, officially. And Burnham and Book head towards the wormhole. Now, I forgot how cool the 32nd century shuttlecrafts look. Especially the control panels and stuff. They are really, really cool. But I mean, Gray and I will talk about this tomorrow in our live discussion on the episode. Book and Burnham just make it through the wormhole, actually, because they have to get their timing just right. Otherwise, they'll get squashed, basically. And then Rayner, for whatever reason, on the bridge, goes to yellow alert. Yes, it's a precaution, but I'm confused as to why. They see Moll and L'ak's ship, and it's literally been sliced in half. This is in one side of the view of the shuttlecraft, and on the other side, they see a starship, and it's the ISS Enterprise from the Mirror Universe. The two that Burnham and Book recognise it immediately. I mean, the Mirror Universe, they know, especially Burnham, she knows all about that. We saw this in the previous trailers before, and we thought we would be seeing it at some point, and I'm glad we are seeing it because I love the Mirror Universe stuff. I mean, you guys tell me if you enjoy it as well. I was a massive fan of it. And they do say it must have been a long time ago. It must have been stuck there for a long time ago because the Guardian of Forever basically was saying that the going between the two universes was going to be impossible soon enough. That's why Giorgio gets sent back, and that's why we'll get a movie later on this year or next year on that one. So yeah, really cool to see A Enterprise again. It's modelled on the Discovery era Enterprise, which I have no qualms about at all. And then Burnham and Book are on the bridge of the ISS Enterprise trying to figure out what's going on. There's still some power there. A little bit of deja vu from Burnham because Book is standing at the station where Spock would normally be. It's a nice hint. It's a little bit of a sad moment, but it's kind of cool. And then for whatever reason, we see Burnham take something from her comm badge and then put it into a locket that she has of her and Philippa Giorgio. If I'm wrong about that, tell me. It looked like Philippa Giorgio, and she's been wearing this locket the whole time. I had no clue. had no clue she was wearing it this whole time, but she put something into this comm badge anyway, which I found sweet, to be fair. We were getting flashbacks all through this episode, or, they flashback to many years in the past. We find out a little bit more about L'ak and Moll's backstory, especially L'ak. And it turns out he's Breen. I mean, wow, okay, the green is fine, but no one's seen what they look like yet. Tell me if I'm wrong again. I had no clue what he looked like, and it's basically the start of those two's love relationship, little thing that they have got going. And she convinces him for a while to take his helmet off, like, let me see. And he does eventually take it off. He's hesitant, he takes it off, and his face looks like it is just now, but it's like translucent. You can see through it to an extent, and it's weird. Think of some animals you see today where they're kind of translucent and you can almost see through them. It looked weird. That was some CGI work for sure, and it looked cool. I'm just confused how he can survive like that outside the suit, because they have to be cold all the time. But maybe we'll get more on that as we go along. And it turns out L'ak is the cousin of Breen Loyalty. He's been literally sent to work in the, I don't know if it's shuttlecraft maintenance, or basically the Breen equivalent of lower decks. He's been sent there, demoted by his uncle for whatever he'd done wrong, and Moll is convincing him to kind of let her go, and they'll go on a little adventure. It's kind of interesting. You see this love thing develop between the two, which is pretty cool. But fast forward again, of course, Burnham and Book know where Moll and L'ak are, and they're literally in medical bay the whole time, in sick bay. Sorry. I'm thinking they were too easily found for me. They were too easily found, but there's a little bit of a shoot off between the two. It looks like there's like 10 L'aks in sickbay because they're using a holographic emitter, which they take out, and then it's a fair fight between the two of them. But they have a little standoff between the two parties to try and work things out, and then what happens after the shootout was Burnham and L'ak get stuck between force fields, and Moll and Book actually have to work together to get them out. They're forced to work together. They're no saying it. So it's interesting to see if they can work things out, and they kind of to an extent. They go to the bridge to try and sort this out. Moll is impatient with trying to break the firewall of an ancient starship. I don't see why it's so difficult, but they're having problems, the two of them. So Moll basically sends a power surge throughout the ship, which makes things even worse. This backfires massively as the shuttlecraft, the Discovery shuttlecraft, is fired off into the distance, never to be seen again, and Enterprise is sent hurtling towards the aperture of the wormhole. And you're thinking, oh, here we go. They only have 8 minutes left before the ship smashes into the wormhole entrance, and it's all gone. We do get a flashback to the past again. We do get a little bit of a sneak peek as to why the Breen can survive outside the costume, if you like, and they can choose which face they have, their natural one or the one we see L'ak with now, but it's not normal. His cousin says in a previous scene that they have to hold it in more, so maybe it's uncomfortable for him. We don't know, but I thought they had to be cold, so we still haven't had that answered. So we get more flashbacks, Moll and L'ak, how they eventually escape their cousin. L'ak he has to either kill Moll, or he has to kill the guards holding her. He kills the guards and he injures his uncle. Doesn't kill him because he brought him up, shoots him in the shoulder, and Now we have Discovery trying to get the Enterprise out before it hits the fan, so to speak. And they're coming up with all these ideas on Discovery how to keep it open. Enterprise sends a tractor beam out with a particular code, which Rayner recognises because it's from his people's literature. And Burnham's always clued up in people's literature, so she works out to send this tractor beam out at a particular frequency so that Rayner will pick up. And literally, it's a kind of cool plan. They literally switch the fuel from the photon torpedoes out for antimatter, fire some torpedoes at the opening to open the entrance to the wormhole a bit longer so that the Enterprise can come out. It's really cool CGI, which I thought was pretty smart, to be honest with you. They do make it out in time with the clue, but Moll and L'ak get away. So, but they have a warp trail, so we'll find out where they got to in the next episode. So, yeah, no, listen, really enjoyed this episode. Some people like a shorter episode review, some people like a longer episode and discussion. And Gray and I will be back tomorrow with our live review on YouTube, roughly about 3:30 GMT. If you want to stop by then or after and say hi, please do, and tell us what you thought of the episode. Until then, take it easy. Bye-bye.